What's up, guys? It's Clown Fight here. Guys, today I'm just going to be breaking down the face-to-face between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. Now, guys, the second fight is very close. It's only a few days away. What I'm going to do in this video, guys, I'm just going to break down the face-to-face. I'm going to have a look at the psychological advantages of each person, kind of give you my say on what I think. And I will be doing a breakdown video for this fight on who I think is going to win, who has the better chance to win. But I will be looking at both guys and their routes to victory. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And for those of you guys who haven't checked my Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker, I've done the same thing for that, guys. So make sure you check that video out. I looked at the psychology. Make sure you like and subscribe. But yeah, guys, I'm just going to get straight into it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Now, what we did last year with Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, after their first fight, I sat them down and we watched the fight back. It was great. So I've decided to do the same thing again. I've got Artur Beterbiev here on my right, and I've got Dmitry Bivol here on my left. And we're going to watch back the highlights from their classic in Riyadh last season, because, as you know, they're going to do it all again.
It's going to take two superstars. Words have been in short supply from these two all week long. Their actions have spoken for them for many years.
Have you both watched the fight since the night? Have you watched it many times?
So one thing I noticed, guys, both of these guys don't seem very interested in watching back the fight. Like, they don't really give a shit. But I'm just noticing that they're not really interested just by their faces. But let's see what they say.
Yes, I watched off. What do you think when you watch it, Dmitry?
Oh, I just saw good moments, bad moments.
And we are underway.
Moments that you could improve on next.
Yeah.
So again, guys, as I break this down, the one thing you got to note about both these guys, they're both stoic characters. These characters are not talkers. They're not going to make fun of each other. I don't even think they give each other a handshake or even speak to each other. It's almost like an obligation. Again, these two are probably the best fighters of their generation in that weight class, in our generation, in my opinion. Dmitry Bivol, previously undefeated, obviously a lost, very close fight to Artur Beterbiev. Personally, I believe the right man did win, but very close, very close. And you got Beterbiev, who, again, his pure focus is on the fight. He's a religious type of guy, doesn't really care about anything else, just pure focus on training and the fight, and he won the first fight. So they're getting told to watch the first fight because they have to. It's part of the breakdown, and I don't think they really want to watch it, but let's carry on.
What about you, Artur? Did you see things that you could do better next time?
Yes.
What are they? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I will tell you after fight.
So Artur Beterbiev got asked, did you see things that you could do better? He goes, yeah, I'll tell you after fight. So again, this is like a reserved character. They're both very reserved. They're that strong, silent type of character. And again, it's going to be hard to see who's got the psychological advantage here. But I do believe I'll have a say, guys, on who I think has the advantage with this fight. Very slightly from the psychological point of view. And then obviously, in terms of the actual fight, I'll do another breakdown for that.
Bivol just showing that he's very capable with his lead hand.
So, the first round, I thought the first round was very intense.
This is a little bit better now from Beterbiev, but from the early exchanges, both catching each other with good shots there. Again, Bivol, that was lovely on the back foot.
When you were going back to the corner, were you nice and relaxed?
Yes, and try to do something what my corner tell me. I want to try to do this.
So again, guys, first round is a very close round. It's very hard to give it to either fighter. You could probably edge Beterbiev, but very close. And obviously, when he went back to the corner, he was just focused on what the his coach was going to tell him. That's where his focus was.
Don't go static, find real mix.
Here we are going into round 4. How do you feel you are doing, Artur? You think you're in front, or you think it's a close fight?
I'm fighting, and I'm thinking about score is too tough, too complicated,
What Beterbiev?
So at least Artur Beterbiev is honest. He's like, I'm more focused on the fighting. He's not really focused on the score, because the score was very close. it was hard to pick for either fighter, guys. Probably at round 4 anyways. So he's just saying my concentration was purely on Dmitry Bivol. He wasn't even thinking about the score. It shows his type of focus.
Can't afford to do poorly. Throw it as, you know, a lazy shot.
And you got Bivol again staring down. Now again, I did break down a couple of videos, guys, of Dmitry Bivol. Now again, I didn't think Bivol won the fight. I thought it was very close, but I didn't believe he won. But I did say this guy is a warrior. He took the loss like a true champion, a true G. Accepted it, he made no excuses. But I did do some breakdowns of the post fight, and I looked at his reaction. You can tell it hurt his soul, but not in a way to where he was complaining or crying. He wanted a rematch, and he believes he can do better. So that's the mark of a true fighter. And I do believe there's a fire in Dmitry Bivol right now. I've watched a lot of interviews throughout this week, guys, between both fighters, and I will give you my take. I do feel Bivol's got a chip on his shoulder that is massive. And again, guys, sometimes to have that chip on your shoulder, it makes you perform on the day. You've got a fire inside you, something you need to prove. I've heard Dmitry Bivol say a lot. He feels like he needs to get revenge. I've seen him say in a few interviews he doesn't care about the belts. He just wants to fight Artur Beterbiev. Now, that can be good and it can be bad. I will obviously break down Beterbiev's mindset. It's slightly different to Bivol. I just hope, obviously, Bivol is not being too emotional about this. If he's just using it as fuel, I do think we'll get a better Dmitry Bivol in this fight. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get a better Artur Beterbiev as well. I think both guys will improve again, and it's going to be the better man that takes it. I will break this down a bit more, guys, and obviously I will give you my psychological take, but let's just carry on.
Of any sort, Bivol comes back with fast counters.
It's the type of fight, Dmitry, and you have been in many. You have been.
So you got Arthur smiling, just observing it. Bivol seems more, I don't want to say the word disappointed, but I think he's got more to prove, and he seems like that character that he's not going to sit there, he's not going to cry, he's more of a talker in the ring. So is Artur Beterbiev, but I have the feeling, guys, Bivol is going to come like at his best. Like, he's going to be better than last time. And I think Beterbiev will be better than last time. But I think this fight's going to be, it may even be better than the first fight. So let's just carry on.
In many, Artur, where there was no break.
Again, Beterbiev on that front foot.
There were no easy moments. Every round was intense. Is that a fair comment? Every second of every round was hard.
Yeah, of course. It's most of the time you should be in focus.
So again, if I just observe Dmitry Bivol as a character, a very stoic individual, seems very cold. You can't really see no emotion with this guy. He's got no emotion. I've seen in interviews him say emotions are not really good for boxing. It's better to be cold, and everyone's different. He's a Russian. I think Beterbiev's a Russian. These Russians are a bit, I was about to say tapped, but they got that Soviet-like mentality. And I do like it from Bivol. I do like the chip on the shoulder and how he said, look, it's better to be focused and not focus on the rounds, what's happening. So he's a focused individual, but let's carry on.
Not good things happen when you lose your focus.
Because in the past, sometimes when you've had fights over 12 rounds, which have been, you've won every round, sometimes you maybe are not as focused as you were in this fight. Is that fair comment?
No, I was focused.
In this fight, you were focused, definitely, yeah, because you can see your eyes.
Yeah, I was focused.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of miscommunication there. I think he was asking about previous fights, but Bivol's basically saying, no, I was focused in this fight. I'm not saying he wasn't focused. He did seem focused. It just was, for me, probably the output of Beterbiev with the aggression. Don't get me wrong, Bivol had very good boxing. He actually defended a lot of these shots, and again, you could say he was probably the better boxer, but Beterbiev was more of the aggressive fighter, and it swayed it for me. But yeah, I don't have any doubt that this guy's not a focused individual. No doubt at all.
Again, Beterbiev, good from him at the end of the round.
So just looking at this again, obviously I'll probably maybe show everything, but for me, the talking point of this fight was just the aggression from Beterbiev. I'm not saying Bivol had never had his moments. Bivol definitely had his moments. He was more cleaner. He blocked shots and then he landed shots. He was the better boxer. I'm not going to argue with that. He was the better boxer, but it just depends what you like. And in tight fights like this, I don't know, man. If you got a guy who's going to constantly come forward, yes, Beterbiev took shots as well. It probably can sway the judges, but it depends what you like. And I definitely know there's people out there that thought Bivol won it. I don't agree, but it was a close fight. Like, I'm not saying it was wide by any man. It wasn't no Tyson Fury Usyk bullshit where he was like, I got robbed. That was the funniest thing I heard. This was literally like, you're talking couple percentages in it, guys. You're talking a round, maybe 2 rounds in it, 1 or 2 rounds. It was that close. Maybe even a round, to be fair.
These rounds could be close though, Richie, couldn't they?
I did some mistakes, some moves which I shouldn't, and sometimes I did good stuff. It's not about losing focus or not. This is not that fight where I lost my focus.
Now we are at the halfway point.
You're tired of this. You're not tired. Come on, man. Come on.
So you got Artur Beterbiev's corner saying to Artur, are you tired? You're not tired. They're just reiterating it to him. Remember who you are. Nobody can beat you.
Nobody can beat you, man.
Nobody can beat you. This is the mindset of Artur Beterbiev's crowd, man. The guy is a ruthless machine.
There was never any panic from you. Never any panic from you. There was no panic.
I knew that he could move forward like this and pressure. This is his good sides.
So everything, you knew what he was doing. So there was
it's
no
not
surprise.
about. It's not about. I knew. It's about. I was expecting it. That it could be.
So guys, one thing I'm noticing in here again is very slightly again, and you've got to look at who won the last fight. Beterbiev won the fight. So both of these fighters know, like, it's just a respect thing, guys. Like, when someone's beating you, it doesn't mean they got your number, but you've never lost before and he's won. So Artur Beterbiev knows he can beat Bivol. He's done it before. And Bivol's obviously the guy who lost, so he came up short. So Bivol has more points to prove. Now, I don't want to say, Beterbiev is the alpha and Bivol's the beta. I don't think it's like that. But the way Bivol's answering his questions right now, it seems there's a slight authority to Beterbiev. The slight authority as in, again, guys, I look at the psychology. I do look at the psychology a lot. It's almost like when you're in a jungle and you're going to two alpha lions are fighting each other. One lion is gonna come on top, the alpha lion. Now, that alpha lion who's taken over, he's gonna control the pride. He's gonna be in control of the pack, you could say. Everyone's gonna follow him. He's gonna do what he wants. Even though you're an alpha yourself, when it came down to it, you lost that fight. So in the back of your mind, you kind of give that respect. Like, I went toe to toe with the guy, and I came up short. So that's why I feel that what Bivol's saying here. Like, if I go back,
Never any panic from you. There was no panic.
I knew that he could move forward like this and pressure. This is his good sides.
So everything, you knew what he was doing. So there was
it's
no
not
surprise.
about. It's not about. I knew. It's about. I was expecting it. That it could be.
so that's why Bivol's obviously giving more. He's talking a little bit more. He's explaining himself a bit more. He's like, I knew he could have done this. I expected it. Like, we haven't really seen Beterbiev. We're gonna get into obviously interview. Beterbiev seems a little bit more reserved. Bivol's giving more. Guys, I'm talking very slightly, and again, I have to analyze the psychology here because that's what I do on this channel. I try to give you an edge by looking at the psychology as well. Remember, this guy got beat to Beterbiev, which was a close fight. You can tell the guy was hurt after, not in a bad way. He took it like a man. He didn't cry, say, I lost, blah blah blah, they robbed me, none of that. So I respect him for that. But he's got a fire in him, and it's still there. It's still hurting. That's why obviously he now needs to kind of, when he talks, he's got to give a little bit more, like a reason. He has to explain himself a bit more, whereas Beterbiev doesn't really need to do that. So I don't want to say it's defining who's the alpha here, but it's on those sort of lines, and it's not going to make massive a difference. It doesn't mean that he's going to win. It does play a slight role in the psychology though, so let's carry on.
Gets caught again. This is better work again from Bivol. Landing good shots, Paul, here.
So Bivol definitely had his moments, man. I cannot write the guy off.
Biggest attack so far, and it's come from Bivol and Beterbiev.
But the difference is every time he did have his moments, Beterbiev didn't just take it, he actually answered back.
Better respond, which he does do. The gauntlet's thrown down.
I cannot say that I knew what he will do,
Sure.
of course.
But you expected it. And
So if you look at Bivol's face, again, the same thing I just reiterated. He had to explain to Bunty, I can't say what he was going to do. Like, I can't, of course. It's not, guys, this is very hard. This is very subtle to try and explain the psychology here. Look, he lost, and the way he looked at the screen there, he tilted his head slowly. He didn't really want to look. He's not there to look. You can tell this guy's focused, his game, he's ready to fight. For me, the best way I can describe Bivol is the guy's not a man of excuses. He doesn't want to sit there and make excuses. He wants to take the loss as a man should take the loss and answer in the rematch. I'm not going to say this shows any weakness or anything. It doesn't show weakness, guys. It's natural for what Bivol's feeling, what Bivol's trying to say. Beterbiev obviously won the first fight, so the advantage is in Beterbiev's court. No matter what, guys, the advantage is in Beterbiev's court. He's done it once. He can do it again, but Bivol has more to prove. And there's a fire here. I can feel it from Bivol, guys. I can feel like, I can just tell by this type of character, he's not like sleeping at night. He's thinking about it constantly, which is not a bad thing, guys. It's not people are always tormented. No, some fighters use this as fuel, guys. I can guarantee. Just look at the guy's face. He wants it back badly. That's good. That's what you want to see.
Arthur, did you?
Look at the little emotions. Really badly, guys. I'm telling you, guys. I've studied the guy. I watch his interviews. He is hurt, but in the right way. You should be hurt when you lose, guys. You should not be sleeping. You should be like, this is something like, I need to win. I need to get it back. Give it all. If he loses again, I'm pretty sure he would accept it. But it's more of those, like, it's a good quality to have as a fighter. Not every fighter has it. Some fighters just break and they can't do it. They're finished. He's not that type of guy.
Did you expect what Dmitry did? Was there anything that he did that surprised you?
Every round can be surprised, you know.
So Artur Beterbiev, guys, again, I will break more down of the psychology of this guy. I do believe a massive role in Artur Beterbiev's psychology, and the way he is to do with his face, guys. I'll come on to that in a second, but he basically has just said here, Bunty asked him, did you feel shocked or anything unexpected? He's like, every round, basically. He's smiling. Let him carry on.
But he did good. He did good.
When you're watching,
He did good. Now, guys, this is hard to explain from a psychological point of view, and I will go further into it, but from what I know, from how I've studied Artur Beterbiev, the guy's a man of faith, and I think he's a devout Muslim. Now, again, myself, I'm not a Muslim, guys. I'm a Sikh. I've said that in previous videos, but anyone, guys, when Usyk was into his faith, he's a man of Christ, and you could tell the way he kissed the cross. These things, guys, they play a role. I'm telling you, guys, spiritual warfare, it's a thing, guys. It's not to say, it's like a black magic. I don't believe in none of that. When someone is a spiritual person and they follow a faith, it depends on the person. It depends how they follow it. For me, Alexander Usyk followed his religion, and his religion played I'm not saying the biggest role, but it played a role in why he beat Fury. It helped him. Artur Beterbiev, again, from what I've seen, guys, I've broken it down before on my channel. I think after the first fight, as soon as he won, he went straight to the mosque, guys, and he was just praying. Now, guys, everyone's got their own faith. I respect all faiths, guys. I do look at things like this. This spiritual side does intrigue me. Now, I don't know Bivol, what sort of religion is or what he follows. Again, some people are not into religion. I don't want to get into a religious debate. That's not what this is about. But I look at the psychology. Guys, I'm telling you, I've studied Artur Beterbiev as a devout Muslim. When I say devout, the guy is dedicated to his faith. Like, he don't care about the world. He doesn't care about accolades. He doesn't care about achievements. He puts his faith first. He puts it first. Like, he strikes me as the man that would die for the faith. And he lives by that. And that's why he's got this. It's a different kind of cold. Like, Dmitry Bivol's got the stoic kind of cold. Like, you got to do what you got to do. From a worldly sense, he's stoic. I'm not saying Bivol might not be religious. I don't know his religion. I don't know. People can let me know in the comments. He doesn't really talk too much about religious stuff. But Artur Beterbiev, I've seen interviews. He was even reciting, I think, the Quran while they were fighting in the first fight. He was muttering it under his breath. I broke it down, and that gave me chills, guys. Not, again, I respect all faiths. When I see a man of faith, in my view as well, guys, I don't want to go into a religious debate here, man. I believe every religion has truth in it. I don't want, guys, I'm gonna look, this is a boxing channel, you get me. I don't want to give my religious views on this channel, so I'm gonna leave it. But I believe that every religion has aspects of the truth in it, and that all religions can agree upon. Like, every religion has areas that they don't agree in. You follow this rule, you follow that rule. But from what I believe as well, from a Sikh point of view, we all believe there's only one God, and that's just, I don't want to, guys, I know a lot of people are not into religious stuff, so I'm going to keep this faint. For me, from my view, I respect anyone. If you don't believe in God, I still respect you. You got your respect. You're right. If you believe in God, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is there is elements of truth in all religions. What I will do, guys, at some point, I'm going on a tangent here. I'm thinking to make a second channel, guys, called Clown Talks, and in that channel I will be touching on topics like this. I'm probably going to do it just out of a hobby for myself, so I will be making that channel soon, guys. That's where I'll probably will give more views on what my thoughts are on things, and just my views. I'll just cover other topics. I'm thinking to do that, so I'll save it for then. But what I'm trying to say is, I've seen it, guys, in countless of athletes, the top level athletes. You can go over to MMA, you can go over to boxing. The people they put their faith first, and you can tell when someone puts their faith first by the actions and what they do and how they carry themselves. They don't follow their mind, guys. They follow the doctrine of their faith. As I said, all faiths, I think universally all faiths share some aspects of the truth, which are all correlated into every religion. Okay, again, rules and everything, they are different, but a lot of faiths, you could say Christianity, they believe in one God. Islam, believe in one God. Even myself, Sikh, we believe in one God. Now, I'm not going to go into this, but what I'm trying to say is, when I see someone that's devout to their faith, and as I believe personally, there is truth in all religion, and some religions have more truth than others, others don't. I ain't going to go into it in this. But what I see with Artur Beterbiev, him as a Muslim, the way he carries himself, the way he acts, he is not an arrogant individual. He's not a stereotype. Someone who follows the faith fully, you can just tell. He's not really keen about friends or people around him. He's focused on training and his religion. And guys, this religious stuff, as I said, the best athletes, the top level, not all of them, not everyone's religious, but when you see it, there are athletes out there. You can look at Usyk, you can look at Artur Beterbiev, you can look at someone like Khabib from UFC. The greats, like, they've never lost, they're always undefeated. They put their faith first, guys. You know what that saves them from? That saves them from partying, that saves them from drama, that saves them from getting involved in money and bad things. Like, again, I don't want to mock anyone here. I don't want to go too much into it in this video. You got athletes out there like Conor McGregor. He was a wicked fighter. I used to like him when he was coming up. But in my opinion, the alcohol, that sort of lifestyle, the cheating, the drugs, and all the dodgy shit he's done. Look at him now, guys, to how he was when he was coming up. That affected him because he didn't have no control over that. What I see is with the religious people, the people who have faith, they have a discipline, no matter if they're in training, no matter if they're retired, and that gives them the edge. I'll be honest with you guys, it gives them the edge. Not everyone, but the high level ones, yeah. So I see Beterbiev using his religion in the right way. Well, that's his faith, but it helps him, and that's where I will break it down further. I do see a slight psychological advantage. That's a massive part. That gives him a huge advantage. That gives him at least 5%, maybe even 10. He uses that as his shield, as his armor against Bivol. Now, Bivol is, again, anyone else, I don't think he would. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if Bivol was against anyone else, it wouldn't affect that much. But because Beterbiev is devout to his faith, it will overcome any stoicism, any coldness that Bivol has. Just from a psychological point of view, it will. And I'll show you the signs, guys. Let's carry on.
Watching this now, Artur, what are you thinking? We are in round maybe 8. What are you thinking when you watch this?
You're always looking for some mistakes, what you did.
So if you look here, guys, this is what I'm trying to explain, the psychology, and this is, I gotta go deep with this, and people sometimes don't understand this, and it's fine, guys. I do look at this and I do go a bit more deeper than the average person. If you look here, Dmitry Bivol is looking over to Artur Beterbiev. You got Bunty laughing here. Artur Beterbiev is being himself, 100% authentic. He's smiling. He's like, in these moments, yeah, you try to look for advantage. This is hard to explain. Bivol came up short to Beterbiev, so he's looking over to him saying, have I seen a chink of armor? Can I get any information of this character? What type of character is he? But guys, you got to understand, as I explained, he doesn't operate the way Bivol operates. The way Beterbiev operates is his faith, his religion, his training, in that order, guys. His faith is number one. His movements, the way he acts, the way he carries, it comes from his faith. This is not a man-made thing. This is obviously his faith. That's where he puts his faith into. Now, on a one-to-one worldly level, Bivol could never overcome that psychology. Anyone who is devout to their faith, and that's their main thing, and they're successful in a sport, unless this guy is in his own faith and he has his own faith where he is religious, or he has his own faith, that's one way you can kind of par up with him. It's not always the case, but in the top level athletes, like I see here, Bivol is gonna be looking towards Beterbiev. Beterbiev is just being his authentic self. There's no effort in him saying this, that yeah, sometimes we try to look for advantage, and he's laughing. But Bivol's actually looking over to him like, what can I pick up from here? And again, it comes to what I said earlier. I don't want to say Beterbiev is the alpha, Bivol's the beta. I don't want to say that, guys. That's probably the wrong thing to say. But again, it's like Bivol still needs to figure this man out. His faith and the way he lives his life is why he carries himself the way he is. You can't figure that out on paper. You just can't. The only way you can match it is maybe if he becomes a man of faith. Again, I'm not... Guys, trust me, spiritual warfare matters. It matters. It gives people edges. The way they carry themselves, you cannot get into someone's head like that. So, it's very slightly, Beterbiev is psychologically above Bivol right now, especially after last defeat. Not a lot, but you could say at least 5, maybe 10%, 5 to 10%. But let's carry on.
You did wrong. Yeah, what you did wrong, like, you always, only these points I see there, like, that's it.
That's a good response there from Bivol.
You are very harsh judges on yourself. You understand? You are very, very harsh.
So, Bunty goes, you guys are very harsh judges on yourself, like you critique yourself, and Bivol straight away gone into this phase. Again, pure stoicism from Bivol. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Bivol. I'm not saying Bivol's mentally weak. Bivol is one of the most mentally strong people in that division. I don't want to say after Artur Beterbiev, but yeah. But where he's obviously been hurt is, look at the smile on his face. Obviously the focus here. Again, guys, this is just me going a bit too deep, but again, that religious aspect for me is helping Beterbiev a lot. He can put his worries to that. Bivol seems like he's trying to do this on his own. He puts it all on him. There's advantages to that. Don't get me wrong. I think Bivol's going to come in great shape, but let's see what he says.
Harsh judges.
When I was a kid, and my father didn't like my fights. Even I made a good fight. My coaches didn't like them for 100%. And I got this habit because it helps you to improve, yeah.
This is good from Bivol. Now again, what I just said earlier, again, guys, I'm breaking it down segment. Don't take anything I'm saying as gospel. Bivol's shown here, guys, that he just said, look, the reason he critiques himself is because of his father. When he was young, he never really saw good in him or something like that. So every time, even if he does good, he's always looking to be better. And guys, that's what the greats do. The best fighters of all time, they don't, like, they can have the best performance ever. They'd still go back and say, oh, this wasn't good, that wasn't good. And it can be like a harsh critic of thyself, but it's sometimes needed to make you go the extra mile. All the greats have this characteristic. So this is, from a psychological point of view, what Bivol's saying. There's no flaws in what he's saying. If anything, this is probably similar to what Beterbiev would do with himself. So again, I know I've just talked about the religious side, etc., etc. I'll leave that for now. But just on a normal plane-to-plane site, Bivol's bang on here with what he's saying is exactly right. There's nothing in what Bivol's saying right now that shows weakness. Nope, it's actually strength, real like brute strength. Not brute strength, but it's actually inner strength.
If you see something which was good, but it could be every time it could be better. There is no limit to be perfect.
Very good, man. He's saying if you see something that's good, but you know it could be better, there's no limit. You can always improve. It's the right mindset, right mentality, right. Like again, psychologically, again, the way Bivol's speaking, this actually gives him his advantages go up. Bivol's psychological advantages go up. It means he has the right mindset for this fight coming up.
Very clever indeed. Natural movement. Very well schooled. This is a good response from Bivol.
Bivol definitely had his moments. I've said this before.
And Artur, you are also a perfectionist. You want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because you know it can be perfect.
I like being perfect, but not always.
So the difference here with Artur Beterbiev is what Bivol said is exactly what Artur Beterbiev agrees with. He agrees that I've seen interviews where Beterbiev said even in his fights where he's lost, he always wants to do better. So he agrees with Bivol. Bivol and Artur Beterbiev are on the same page here. They always try to be better than their previous fight. They always try to be better. And that's the true character of a great. The difference I'm seeing with Beterbiev is he's more smiley, more laughy. Again, I think that there, it comes down to this again. You can do whatever you want, guys. You can train, you can wake up, you can put all the grind in, you can tick every box and you can leave every stone unturned. For Artur Beterbiev, that's all fine. But if he missed out on his religious and his faithful side, I think psychologically Beterbiev wouldn't be Beterbiev today. As long as this man does his spiritual prayers or whatever he needs to do and he's connected there, is almost like an unstoppable mindset. The psychology, the psychological advantage, the lack of anxiety, the lack of overthinking, the clarity, the confirmation and the internal support he gets from being connected with his faith. Guys, this is not just his faith. I've studied the psychology, guys, of spiritual people. When they're spiritual, people don't have the anxiety. People don't have that lack of confidence. It's something inner. It's something within inside you that you are strong in, and you can carry yourself with a jolly laugh on your face because you've already put your faith not just in your training. Your faith has gone above your training. Obviously, for him, it's God where he prays, and that's where the smile's coming from. And again, guys, that's dangerous, man. Like, if you're not a religious person and you're going up against someone who has the same mindset as you, you're both neck and neck. You're both almost the same. You're both very good. And in one given day, you could be better. And the other given day, you can be better. But guys, the advantage of spirituality, it will trump you by at least 10%. It will do it, guys. I'm just being honest. I don't see Beterbiev dropping off his faith. And again, I'm going very deep in this, but guys, I have to say it like this.
So now you're going to places where you've seldom been. It looks like it's going to go the distance. First time as a professional. What was going through your mind in the 11th and 12th round?
You know, like, again, like, I don't think like you thinking, you know.
I'm watching. You're part.
I'm fighting, but I don't think like these things. I want to do. I'm just listening
To the corner.
my corner, and that's it.
Look at Bivol. Just look at Bivol. Just he eyed him.
I do every round, like they give me some instruction, and I try to do them.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna explain that to you now. So, Alexander Usyk, guys, when he fought Tyson Fury, a lot of questions towards Alexander Usyk before the fight is, do you think about Tyson Fury? Do you think about the rematch? What do you think about this? Alexander Usyk's response, I've got a video on it. You can check it out. I don't think about it. He doesn't think about Fury. He doesn't think about AJ. He doesn't think about what he's going to do next. It's that saying, I don't think about it. You know why Usyk never used to think about these things that the average person does? The average person is stuck in worldly things, guys. Stuck in today's life. I want to win this guy. I want to get that bout, etc., etc., etc. And when you go into the spiritual side, guys, again, I don't want to go too much into it, but that comes second to you. What comes first is, have I connected to God today? Have I done this? Have I done that? That gives you an internal belief. And it's hard to explain this, guys, because I don't want to get too philosophical and too spiritual with you, but the worries you have of the world, like, oh, am I winning this round? Shit, I might lose. What are people going to think about me? You don't care about that. Your faith is more important to you than what people think. So you don't rely on what's happening in this round, that round. You don't have those anxieties, like, you don't overthink it. You do your best, you put your faith where you're supposed to be, and all you focus on is just getting through the round. So the way Artur Beterbiev says, I don't think how you lot think, I just fight, I'm just there to do the job, I'm not going to be scoring it, I'm just trying to get him out there, I'm trying to win the round, and I let you lot decide. You see this in the greats. Guys, I'm only pointing this out because it's not just Beterbiev. Alexander Usyk said the same sort of things. These are the spiritual type of people. They're at a higher level than the average person, and it gives them the advantage, guys. They don't sit there and overthink things. Like Tyson Fury lost to Usyk, and he said he won both fights. Psychologically, he was damaged. He was damaged goods, guys, from the moment he couldn't look at him at the first press conference. Now again, I'm not saying this is anything like Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Bivol is much better as a character. He's more closer to Beterbiev than anyone. And I'm not saying Bivol can't win this fight. He still can. But again, if I have to weigh down the slight advantages, I look on things differently on this channel, guys. I don't just look at the skill for skill. I look at what's going to give the other guy the edge, what mindset, what spirituality, how philosophically is this guy going to get an advantage over Bivol. I don't see other boxing channels doing it. That's fine. But guys, my channel's a bit different.
Incredible from Beterbiev now, the punch output. Bivol just coming forward, trying to block the shots, but he's getting caught, Paul.
It's a damaging round from Bivol's point of view.
Again, so we saw in the fight, guys, Beterbiev have his moments where he stuck it on Artur, and then Beterbiev put it back on. What I didn't see, guys, is when Beterbiev put it back on Bivol, there were moments where Bivol he didn't give him an answer. He just shelled up and he blocked. He defended a lot of shots. The difference was Bivol actually did that to Artur Beterbiev. Beterbiev always answered him back. There wasn't a time where I saw Beterbiev in the corner not answering back. So that's where the fight probably sways.
Beterbiev can't miss.
Just these little clips here, you can see Bivol wasn't going for it. He was just blocking.
Well, was it a particularly draining fight, Dmitry? Because there was was it hard on your body? Were you very tired at the end?
I just should show more.
Okay.
But it wasn't because of the tired.
And what?
Again, I agree with Bivol here. It wasn't about him being tired or anything. I agree with what I'm saying. He should have done more. Again, put more output out there, do more. Because, as I just said to you guys, there was instance in the fight where Bivol actually put it on Beterbiev, but there wasn't any instance where Beterbiev just stood there. He took Bivol's shots and then he returned them. But there were instances in the fight where Beterbiev did it to Bivol. Bivol defended some of them very good, but he never returned it back. He carried on going around the outside while Beterbiev carried on chasing him and still landing, some blocking, still landing. That's what edged it for me.
What about you, Artur? Were you tired at the end?
I'd prefer if we have a couple of rounds more.
15 rounds.
Yeah.
So this here, guys, this is where you got to, this is high psychology, guys. This is very high level stuff what Beterbiev is doing here. He's not actually trying to do this on purpose, but there's a side of him, he knows what he's saying as well. As I explained to you before, guys, when you go down the spiritual route, you are naturally 10% above the other guy. Guys, I don't have to explain it. Look, when I say you're naturally 10% above, it's not in an arrogance or ego. I don't think Beterbiev sits there and says I'm 10% above. It's just, you can tell where his how do I say this, man? Where his type of character is, where his focus lies, and this is where you come up with this smart wording. He's not even trying to come up with this. He just laughing there and saying, maybe we could have went 15 rounds more. I think I could have done a few more rounds. This is, I don't want to say it's a dig at Bivol. It's just basically saying, I can do this all day, all night. Now remember, if you look at someone like Khabib Nurmagomedov, he was in the UFC, he was undefeated. He used to say things like this: if you bring Conor McGregor today and you bring Tony Ferguson and you bring another one, I can fight with all three of these guys on the same night. Just give me a glass of water and a break, just between each guy. I believe he was being serious. It's just when you're at such a level, one, spiritually, two, your training, and three, your mindset. When all these three things go align, you become unbreakable, and you can say stuff like this. You can literally giggle, saying, yeah, I could do another 3 or 4 rounds. This, again, I don't think Bivol is psychologically weak. If you're psychologically weak, this could break you if someone says this to you. Because Bivol knew it was a hard fight. Both of them pushed the pace. Round 12, they were both obviously, I'm not saying full-on gasping for air, but it was an exhausting fight. You could tell that. But if you got this guy smiling at your face after that fight, he's beat you already, and he's saying, yeah, maybe we could have done 3 more rounds. It seeps at that psychology. It starts to knock on it's asking you to respond. How are you going to deal with it? My man's sitting there smiling, saying, maybe we could have done 3 more rounds. He's probably joking as well. But guys, these are the psychological advantages, these little smiley giggles. These seep into your soul. It's a hit for Bivol, I'm not going to lie. This would be affecting Bivol right now, from what he's saying. I'm not going to lie. This is where the edges start to sway over to Artur Beterbiev.
Old school.
Yeah.
Look at me, yeah, I'm an old school, yeah. Bivol's just trying to keep a poker face. I don't think it affected him that much, but it's hard to explain this guy. There's small percentages.
But you told me you're not a student of boxing, but now you're talking about 15 rounds.
Yeah, but because I'm not a good boxer, I need more rounds.
Look at the psychology, guys. Artur Beterbiev taking a book out of Tyson Fury's book. Remember Tyson Fury, guys? Tyson Fury was a master of psychology against everyone until he came up a spiritual guy called Alexander Usyk. And guys, check my channel out. I exposed Tyson Fury from the start of this year still the start of last year. I exposed the guy. He used to get away with these words like, he used to say to Wilder and all this. He used to get into his opponent's heads before they even fight, guys. He used to say to Wilder, no one can beat me. Vladimir Klitschko, he beat him in the sauna. He had these psychological advantages. I'm telling you now, Tyson Fury was a master of psychology. A master. Who took Tyson Fury's number? Not just a guy who's a master of psychology, a spiritual guy, Alexander Usyk. The psychology from Tyson Fury was not working against Usyk. It backfired. Tyson Fury had multiple meltdowns. He broke down, and Tyson Fury was slick with what he said. Now, if you look here, what Artur Beterbiev said, remember Tyson Fury used to say stuff like, I'm just a fat man, I'm a fat greedy man, I'm just a fat belly man. If you lose to a fat belly man, you're shit then. Like, you know why? Tyson Fury was being himself, he's being authentic. But these are sly psychological tricks that people play. So yeah, guys, I'm just giving just a little contrast of psychological games. Now, I don't think Artur Beterbiev is anywhere near like what Tyson Fury does or anything. He's a different character. But what I mean, guys, is the psychological advantages. They play roles in fights, guys. I'm heavy on that stuff, man. The psychology of a fighter, I'm very heavy on it. And again, it's just a little clip, guys, where Beterbiev is smiling, asking for more rounds or whatever. It's a dig in my opinion, but let's carry on.
You need more rounds to improve.
Yeah.
So what happens as this one reaches its climax?
The last round was unbelievable. It was standing ovation. People were just so excited. Can you enjoy being in a round like that, Dmitry? Is there such a thing as enjoyment in a hard round?
I'm enjoying when people like how I'm fighting, when my corner is happy, I'm enjoying.
You enjoy that. And what about...
Yeah, so again, reserved answer from Bivol. He's not saying too much right now. Again, I think that's actually a good sign rather than a bad sign. He's saying when his corner's actually telling him that he's fighting good, that's when he enjoys it. But yeah, it seems like a good sign.
You, Artur, can you enjoy a hard round?
Yeah, not bad. Not perfect, but it's not bad.
So Artur Beterbiev, just a simple answer.
They go at it to the final bell. Bivol brilliant in patches tonight. Does he truly believe he's done enough?
So at the end, Dmitry, did you feel you had done enough to win the decision?
I had these feelings, but it doesn't matter which feelings you have. But at the same time, I I felt that I had to do better this, that. It's
So look, here you going from Bivol again. This is that stoicism that I told you guys. So look, he said, look, it doesn't matter what I feel at the end of the fight, which is not wrong in what he's saying. If you want to look at facts, you don't want to get too emotional. Remember Tyson Fury against Usyk, the guy's heart got ripped out of his chest from Turki Al-Sheikh because Tyson Fury put his hand up like he has to win, like Turki Al-Sheikh was going to rig the judges for him. That's not a good mindset in a fight. Don't put your emotions in there. You're right. Don't rely on it. I'm liking what I'm hearing from Bivol. As I broken down previously, I just think Artur Beterbiev is a slight level above. Not any fault of Bivol's, not any fault of between the interaction between these two men. It's just the way he lives his lifestyle. It's going to be very difficult to penetrate a mindset like Artur Beterbiev. But I love what Bivol's saying. He's like, you can't have emotions. But then he also acknowledged, I still think I didn't made mistakes. Again, marks of a true champion, guys. No excuses.
And what about you, Artur? Were you confident that you would get the decision?
Yes, but it's like first time in my boxing career, like
The distance.
So Beterbiev looking over the table again. That again. I don't want to say alpha beta. It's the wrong word, guys. I can't call Bivol a beta. That's not right, guys. I don't know which other way to describe it. It's like two alphas have gone at it, but one alpha came above. It doesn't mean the other guy's a beta now. It just means the other alpha has his number. I don't want to call fucking Bivol a beta. I don't think he's that type of character. I haven't seen anything in the guy that makes me think Bivol's a beta. I don't want to go too technical or deep in his personal life or anything as well. But he does give the credit to Artur Beterbiev. The man won him. But what Artur Beterbiev is just saying right now is, yeah, he thought he was going to win. However, this was the first time Artur Beterbiev ever has gone to the decision. So he was like, I didn't really want to go to decision. He normally wins his fights by the last bell. He never lets it go to the bell. He normally gets a knockout or TKO. And that's credit to Artur Beterbiev. Dmitry Bivol. That's how good Dmitry Bivol is. The first fighter that took Artur Beterbiev for the full 12 rounds. So, but Artur Beterbiev still confident, saying, yeah, I thought I was going to win. And again, I don't want to go too deep into this. Just to reiterate what I said about his spiritual sides, very important to him. I would say the same with Usyk. When they were announcing decision, I don't think I'm going to be able to find the clip, but you can go back and watch when they're announcing the decision. Artur Beterbiev, again, muttering under his breath. He's reciting something. Again, it sounds like a prayer to me. His focus is on his faith. He's praying to God. That's where his focus was. I seen Usyk do a similar sort of thing. I don't think Usyk standing there waiting for, am I going to win or not? His faith is, he's focused on his faith. When he won, he went down, he bowed down, he kissed the cross. These two are like different level when it comes to high level athletes, but the spiritual side, in my opinion, it plays a role. And the proof for what I'm saying is all there, guys. You just gotta go back and watch the clips.
To listening judges.
Here you go, guys. Look, I'll show you. Look at Artur Beterbiev's mouth.
Winner by majority decision, and now the unified, undisputed world champion.
Look.
Artur!
See that little muttering, guys? He just, obviously that's him being him. That's his prayer. He did that before the fight started. He did that before both fighters go face to face. That's just the way he keeps himself strong, and obviously that's his connection with his faith. But again, I'm not saying because he prays that made him win. It's not like that, guys. What I'm trying to say is, when it comes to the top level athletes, when it comes to the highest of the highest level, every inch counts. You have to start looking at a person's character. You have to start looking at the psychological side. Again, I know there's a lot of people that watch my videos. They're going to think, you made an hour video, you're talking out your ass. You can say I'm talking out your ass. That's fine. That's your choice. But guys, I don't see no one else on YouTube doing this. I'm telling you, when it comes down to those very tight fights where you can't decide, guys, you're like, Bivol's very good, Artur Beterbiev is very good. When you can't decide, it's gonna come down to when you can't decide, it's gonna come down to these little factors, guys, these little psychological edge factors, and that's where someone's character, someone's faith will tip the scale to the other side. Because at the end of the day, when you got two guys who are skill for skill they're very quite equal, guys. They're both tough. They both got good boxing. They both got a good ring IQ. They both almost like they were undefeated. Obviously, Bivol lost the last fight, but they're at the highest level. When it gets to stuff like this, the way you separate them is you need to look at the psychology and you need to look at the spiritual advantages, and that's what I do on my channel. Again, I will be looking at the skill for skill. I will be looking at the improvements. Don't think I'm just going to talk on the psychology. I will be breaking down this fight and I will be saying the road how Bivol's going to win this and the road how Artur Beterbiev is going to win. But guys, when it's this close, I do my psychological take after. I factor that into my decision. And guys, that helps sway the result. In my opinion, from the previous fights and stuff I've done, I see it does work. No, I won't be doing this for every single fight. It's only the big fights, guys. I study them like this. So yeah, let's just carry on.
Once the fight was over, Dmitry, when you watched it back, did you feel you won it? You know, when you're watching, it's a different sensation.
No, I didn't watch it in this way.
Okay.
I promised myself that I will not counting rounds. I will not complaining on something. I will watch only to see where it made mistakes.
See, I like this mindset from Bivol. He's not a fucking Tyson Fury. He's going to sit there and cry and say, oh, I believe I won the fight. I believe I won the fight. This, that, etc., etc. He said, I'm only going to watch the fight just to see my mistakes. I didn't watch it back to say, I won this round, I won that round. There's no point in doing that, like, kind of thing. That's a good mindset. Again, I keep saying this. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, I'm leaning to Artur Beterbiev now because of this, because of that. I might be, but guys, don't think I'm writing Bivol off. The guy is probably the most mentally strong out of anyone I've broken down. But I have to look at the spiritual side as well, because if psychologically both of these guys are on the same level, who has the edge? Who the fuck has the edge? As I said, the spirituality, that's when it comes into it, and that's where someone will take the edge, in my opinion.
That's it. Doesn't matter.
No, because it's happened. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. Now we have another fight.
Perfect mindset though. I cannot fault the mindset. He doesn't even focus on, oh, I win this round, that round. There's cases out there people have made that Bivol won this many rounds, and you can make the case. Bivol himself doesn't care. He just wants to look for improvements. That's the sign of a true champion.
And how soon after the fight did you want to have a rematch? And how soon after the fight did you want to have a rematch? Was it straight away or 1 week, 1 month?
I said in the ring that after the fight. But I don't remember exactly. But I wanted, of course, when the athlete is losing, of course, he wants revenge.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm the same.
Again, I can't knock Dmitry Bivol for wanting the rematch. Yeah, he did call for it in the ring. He asked if I can get it again, I'll get it again. But to be fair to Bivol, he gave all the credit to Artur Beterbiev. He didn't hold back. He didn't say, oh, I thought I won, blah, blah, blah. He gave the credit, took it like a man. You had someone like Eddie Hearn. I've broken this down on my channel. Eddie Hearn was crying all day, all night. Oh, Bivol lost. He should have won. It made Bivol look bad, in my opinion. Bivol accepted he lost. And in my opinion, he did lose very slightly. But the fact that Eddie Hearn was going around crying, it made Bivol look bad. He should have just kept his mouth shut. In my opinion. But guys, that's a whole different thing. Go watch my video if you want to see it. But yeah, let's carry on.
Were you thinking, because since then, you're 1 year older, are you thinking maybe that it's time to walk away? Are you thinking about walking away at some point?
We'll see.
So look how Artur Beterbiev made a joke again. Slight psychological joke. Dmitry Bivol's not putting his emotions in there. He's got a very small smile, but he's not reacting to Artur Beterbiev. So obviously Bunty asked him, are you thinking about walking away? Again, it's taunting Bivol, guys, because think about it. If Artur Beterbiev wanted to walk away with the belts, it would leave Bivol beltless. Obviously, he could fight for whoever's in that line, but Bivol would never have been able to say, I beat Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev could have retired after this if he wanted to. That would have left Beterbiev in that spot. This is where I go back to the Tyson Fury tactics. These smiles, again, I don't think he's doing it. I think he knows what he's doing a bit, but at the same time, he doesn't. He goes, we'll see. No effort. This is efficient psychology. There's no conscious thought. It's just him being natural. He's like, he's asking him, would you retire like after this? Wasn't that in your thought? He's like, yeah, we'll see. Will you retire?
it puts Bivol in a bit of an awkward situation because it's like, you fucker. Bivol said himself, I just want to fight Artur Beterbiev. I want revenge. So there is a bit of emotions tied into it. He's trying to be cold, but he knows the power position lies with Artur Beterbiev. And that is a psychological advantage, guys. These things people are not picking out on. Again, it doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't mean Bivol can't win this fight. Don't think that, guys. I'm just going to factor every advantage I see into my decision when it comes down to the breakdown.
I like my words. Yeah,
I do like your words, yeah. And if you...
Look, man, look at this. He's trying to, like, again, subliminally belittle Bivol. It's not doing it on purpose. It's hard to explain, man. It's just that different psychological edge. Bivol feels hurt from losing. Artur Beterbiev's in a place where he could talk about retirement as one of the best. Bivol can't do that. Bivol needs him to fight again. Again, these little things, they seep at your soul. Bivol's future is in Beterbiev's hands. Obviously, Beterbiev has taken the fight, but it's still like just letting Bivol know in a subtle way, I could retire after this. I don't need to fight you again. It's just, I don't want to say it's pressure, but it's just subtle psychological advantages.
had have got the decision on the night and it had been tight, would you have given Artur a
Watch this, watch this. Bunty just asked Bivol, you know, if you won and it was a tight fight, would you give Artur Beterbiev a rematch? Guys, I'm going to give you my thoughts straight away on it. This guy's beating Canelo. Canelo wants a rematch with him. Canelo versus Bivol will be a bigger fight. I don't believe Bivol would have gave Artur Beterbiev a rematch. Not because Bivol doesn't want to. His team and the money and the risk of fighting someone that close, I don't think he would have gave him that rematch. But let's see what he says.
rematch?
Why I should think what if this, what if that? We are in reality now.
You know what? There's a perfect answer from Bivol. Perfect answer from Bivol. You cannot knock him for that answer. He said, why should I think if I won, should I give him a rematch, etc. This is a perfect answer. You disengage from even taking your mind in that psychological battle that maybe I wouldn't have gave him a rematch, etc. I don't think he would have, but Bivol's done the right thing. Bivol didn't even entertain it. That shows psychological strength. So again, although I'm saying although I'm giving advantages to Beterbiev, guys, don't think I'm writing Bivol off. Bivol is game. I'm telling you, Bivol is game. And Bivol can win this fight. 100% he can win this fight. He's not psychological weak. He knows how to play the game. He's not the type of guy that's going to break. He's not going to break, guys. He's got an answer for everything.
So could we have a third fight?
Like you ask him about if he give me a rematch.
Yeah.
I think no.
Look at this now. Artur Beterbiev wants to stamp psychological damage. So this is for me, this is proof that Artur Beterbiev knows what he's doing with some of these things he's saying. He wants to make sure Bivol's feeling the psychological damage. Although these two don't directly talk, he's just reiterated what I said. Artur Beterbiev had to step in. He said, you ask him, would he give me a rematch? I know he goes, he wouldn't give me a rematch. Bivol's not going to say much here. Bivol doesn't want to entertain that talk because he doesn't want to get into that. But this is where Artur Beterbiev knows what he's doing. He's trying to make Bivol know that, you know, if you won, you wouldn't give me a rematch. This is proof. I'm giving it you, but I know you wouldn't give it me. Guys, that's again, it's a psychological win. It's like saying, guys, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I've got your number. Like, I don't want to say, it's saying I'm better than you, but indirectly saying it's indirectly saying this is how great I am. I know you wouldn't, but I'm going to give you the rematch. It's almost mimicking Tyson Fury, Usyk kind of vibes. Again, in a slight way, it's totally different fight, but Beterbiev knows what he's doing with these psychological digs. And guys, I have to edge Beterbiev when he's doing these type of things. The psychology tilts. Look, Beterbiev is not saying anything. He looks down and he looks at his hands. It's probably the best move. You can't really answer this. If Beterbiev gets in a discussion now with Beterbiev, if Bivol gets in a discussion with Beterbiev now about I would have gave you a rematch, then he's backtracked on what he said. It doesn't matter. Bivol is right. Bivol gave the right move. And a game board of chess. They're playing chess here psychologically. Bivol gave the right response. Beterbiev is now trying to checkmate Bivol. Will Bivol bite and answer back saying, no, I would have gave you? Or will he just let Beterbiev take one of his pieces because that's what move he's made?
You don't think so?
No.
If Dmitry win, you think he would not give you a rematch?
No.
Why do you say that, Artur?
I think like
Just your gut.
I know like
Look at this, he's rubbing it in and look at him smiling. I know he wouldn't give me a rematch. I know, I just know. Let's see what Bivol says.
But the two
Bivol doesn't engage. He looks over.
of you together are just in the ring. It's magic, the two of you.
We'll see.
See, Bivol didn't want to give an answer to that. Bivol didn't want to give an answer. I like that. That shows psychological strength. If Bivol broke a little bit out of character or psychologically, emotionally was affected, he would have stepped in there and says, what you on about? I would have gave you a rematch. Or he would have answered it. He's decided to keep his chess pieces to his side. He probably knows in one way that he might not have. I don't know. But he has to make the... What I'm trying to say is, in this fight, guys, it's about being efficient. Both these boxers are very efficient. Go watch the fight. One geezer threw a punch. The other guy throws a punch. They don't want to miss shots. They're trying to be the best boxers they can be. They're trying to be perfection. Even when it comes to the psychology. One wrong move here, guys, you're giving the other guys an advantage. I believe that they're doing the best they can with what they got. They're not overdoing it. They're not overbiting. They're not being overzealous. And again, it's a chess game here.
Really interesting.
Beterbiev looked over to him to see if he bites, and he goes, this is interesting.
So,
We'll see it again.
has your opinion of Artur changed since the fight? During the fight, post-fight?
I don't know. I don't care. Does he changed or not? I have
Look at Artur Beterbiev smiling. He's like, he goes, I don't care about Artur Beterbiev if he's changed or not.
to work on myself. I should make some changes.
Perfect answers, man. Perfect answers. Like, look, again, people keep thinking, people are gonna think I'm hating on Bivol here. Like, again, Bivol is giving the perfect responses. Perfect. I can't think of a better answer. He goes, I don't care what he does. I should be changing myself. I should be focusing on myself. And Beterbiev knows. Beterbiev's trying to get him to be emotional. Beterbiev's playing a chess game himself. Bivol is not biting on it. So that, for me, shows Beterbiev that, yo, it's going to be a tough fight again. It's going to be a very close fight. His guy's coming to be game. It's probably going to be a better fight than the first fight.
So you're only worried about Dmitry Bivol's changes?
That doesn't matter. If you worry about somebody else, it will be draining. You should worry about yourself.
Again, talking about the efficiency, guys, as I said, do not worry about someone else. Worry about your... Do not worry about what this guy's doing. That again, worry about yourself. Focus on yourself. Very good. Again, from the psychological point of view, very good from Bivol. These are psychological. I'm not saying advantages to Bivol, but this raises his psychology up. He's not dropping off. He's not doing a Tyson Fury. Can't look him in the eyes. None of that. He's trying to stay on par with Bivol and Beterbiev as much as he can.
But can you step back and look at that fight and say, that is an unbelievable fight? Can you allow yourself to do that, Dmitry?
I could tell that it was a good fight for people because I see that people was happy to see this fight, undisputed fight in the light heavyweight division, and they want to see it again. And if people want to see some fight, it's good for fighters, and I'm happy to give them
To do it.
Yeah.
So
Bang on. Bang on. It was a sick fight. I can't wait to see this fight. I can't wait for the card, guys. I just can't wait for the card. I ain't going to be able to break down the full card. I've broken down the Daniel Dubois Joseph Parker fight, and I've broken this one down, guys. I'm not going to have time to break anything else down. I may be able to do a prediction for the fights. Very close, but guys, a few more days, man. I'm looking forward to it. One of the best boxing cards I've ever seen in my life.
going into the rematch, are you more confident than you were for the first fight or the same?
Same.
Dmitry, are you more confident or the same?
It doesn't matter. I don't care what happened before. I just new fight, a new challenge.
So obviously, again, look, Artur Beterbiev said, I'm the same confidence. Reason Artur Beterbiev is saying he's got the same confidence is he never lost the first fight. He won the first fight. So he doesn't really... I'm not saying he doesn't need to change anything up, but mentality-wise, same mentality. It's like Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Usyk didn't really need to change much. But it's better, it's Bivol now that needs to change. That's why Bivol's response was a little bit longer than Artur Beterbiev. He goes, I don't care about it. This is a new fight, it's a fresh fight. We'll start again. It's a good response, but again, it comes back down to that alpha thing I said. Beterbiev is the slight alpha here again. It doesn't mean Bivol's a beta. It just means that the alpha's already beaten you once. It doesn't mean you can't beat the alpha again, but you need to kind of give more explanation. So it does put you in second. Psychologically, doesn't mean you can't overcome it. But again, psychologically, the advantages are favouring Beterbiev here.
Let me ask you this. When you are not on camera, do you shake hands and smile and joke? Do you? No?
So this is the question about shaking hands. This is another thing that both guys don't do. They both stay stoic characters. Let's hear what they say.
No.
Will you shake hands for me today?
No.
It was Artur Beterbiev that said it first. No, I ain't shaking his hand.
No, okay.
And it was Dmitry Bivol who smiled.
That's fine.
He even looked over.
That's good. Artur, it's been a pleasure. Dmitry,
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure. I like the fact that you are just a boxer and you are just a boxer and you don't need to be friends. That's good. That suits me.
Again, guys, look, as I said, they're both stoic guys. They're not here to fucking be friends. Everyone's got a different personality. Artur Beterbiev doesn't want to shake his hand. Now, again, people be like, oh, what's that? Is that some insecurity? It's not insecurity, guys. I've seen the interviews of both of these guys. It's just personality types. They're like, look, I'm going to fight this guy soon. We can shake after the fight. We can see what happens then, innit? But right now, there's no need to shake his hand. It's like, I don't want to be friends with the guy. I'm going to fight him. And some people are like that. Some people can shake someone's hands. They don't hold it personally. It doesn't mean Artur Beterbiev holds it personally or Bivol holds it personally. It's just a mentality thing. Some people don't shake hands. They're like, yo, we'll do it after. We're going to fight soon. So I'm not trying to be your buddy. And that's what I got from it. But again, on a stoic level, they're both at that same level. So yeah, guys, I will be doing a part 2 breakdown. And then I will be doing my prediction. So that's just my first video, guys. Definitely check my next one out. I know it was quite long, but I had to do that. But yeah, guys, check my next one out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Leave your thoughts below, guys. Who do you think had the edge? Leave me your thoughts on who's going to win this fight and who do you think has the edge. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.